OGs and young gods, OGs and young gods.
I know you guys are probably asking yourselves, who gave this nigga the right to write a Bible? But if we all look past the lies and false teachers of the men that portray themselves to be the powers that be and seek the truth, our lives just as well as all that lives, lives are Bible.
OGs and young gods, OGs and young gods, OGs and young gods.
No matter what man-made religion we believe in, just being true to thy Lord within ourselves will bring us peace. It's gonna be alright, cause in hell, we can't win the war between good and evil without being truthful to the powers that be.
OGs and young gods, OGs and young gods, OGs and young gods.
Hood, hierarchy, mob Every single episode, man, we're gonna get a little background.
I know how you feel because I've been through that 1,000 times.
Lovely ghetto you, beautiful ghetto you, sweet ghetto.
We made so much doing that. I started taking that money throwing the concerts.
It's your boy, Project Pata. Hood hierarchy, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, look, man, if it ain't in the hood, man, it ain't on here.
Hey, this your boy Mario Cannon, man. You rocking with Hood Hierarchy. You already know what's going down.
Team Pretty P stand up. It's a wrap. Tune in.
It's Deli Dale. And whenever I got time and I'm relaxing and I'm chilling, I don't give a damn if I'm laying in the bed with you. I'm checking out Hood Hierarchy. And it's just that simple, just that easy.
It's 7 Up, man, straight from Brooklyn. I want y'all to check my boy out, Uncle Beast, Hood Hierarchy. Get the dopest interviews, the dopest content, the dopest platform, straight from Chi-Town, man. You know what it is, man. We representing Uncle Beast, Hood Hierarchy. That's the highest of prestige. Get it? You already know, that's on game, you heard?
Well, what's happening? It's the one and only HD president, Mr. Bow Bow Bow. This is Hood Hierarchy checking in. I'm signing out. HD4, bow, bow, bow.
I'm booked and I'm busy. Yeah, I'm booked and I'm busy. Yeah, I'm busy. I'm about my money and not too many. Can't get with me. Stick to my lonely. Stick to my homies. Cause I ain't friendly. Ain't no gimme. I pulled it off the mud. Before I give this to you quick, ain't no showing love. I'm booked and I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm booked. Damn so busy. Schedule paper money, run it up.
Welcome aboard the G-Man Experience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's going down. Another episode of the Wednesday night chop up. Coming live from the headquarters.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, y'all? Hey, appreciate everybody. Appreciate everybody. Instagram, Facebook, Kick. Come on over to the YouTube. Come on over to the YouTube.
Yes, sir. Come join the situation.
Hey, it's the Wednesday night chop up, y'all. How y'all been? How y'all been? You know, talk to us. We talk back.
It's all good, man.
Let us know y'all there. Let us know where you from, what state you from, where you tapping in from. Let us know. Let us know.
Exactly. It's going down. Not now, but right now. The Wednesday night chop up from the headquarters.
Yeah.
My real ones tap in. Tap in.
So yeah, man. Shoot, there's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, man. You know, so we had to get on here and we got to talk about what's going on, not just in, you know, LA, it's going on in San Diego, it's going on all over, all kind of different states and all over, all the states and cities right now with this, you know, with the ICE.
Yeah.
With ICE, man. You know, I don't know how to feel about that. You know, I think it's messed up. You know, people getting snatched up out of their homes, out of schools, kids getting snatched up, folks going to court, to immigration court, and the judge could say they cool. They come out and get snatched up.
Yeah, man, that's wrong, man. It's kidnapping, homie. That's kidnapping, G. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, it's foul to, you know, prey upon these cats, man. I mean, you came in lying, talking about, I'm trying to get all the criminals and all the people who's doing wrong and all that, and you just start running up in everything, man. Personally, excuse me, personally, I think this cat, man, got a vendetta against, you know, the Latino community. So I think, you know, maybe as a young man, you know what I'm saying, one of the SA homies might have put hands on him or, you know, snatched up his girl or something like that, because it stuck with him, you know what I'm saying? Because even from the giddy up, from the first situation when he was here, he came in hating, homie, and that was wrong. I mean, how can you be how can you be the leader of the free world, man, and you're, you know, blatant racist, man? It's cold, G. It's cold.
Well, it's cold, like you said, you know, they all got tricked. You know what I mean? They got hit with that 42 fate, man. Yep. Like, you know, everybody, all them, you know, hey, I love y'all, but a lot of the Latinos out there, man, voted for Donald Trump.
They hit him with that Statue of Liberty play.
They thought he was going to do what he said. For some reason, the biggest liar in the world was believable to a lot of people. I don't understand that. You know, you can't take what he says, you know, at 100%.
This cat is an energy. Think about it, man. Let's keep it 1,000. A lot of the presidents participated in some kind of politics before they were the president. You know what I'm saying? Only ones that I know that have not was like President Reagan. He was even before he was an actor, but before that he was the governor. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He went from straight to acting the governor. I mean, you don't really. This cat was like The Apprentice or something like that.
Yeah, on TV.
And also, man, like you know, he was in the business situation. You know what I'm saying? He was like out in the business world. He had nothing to do with politics. He might have knew a lot of politicians or whatever situation may be, mingling and, you know, doing anything. But like, as far as being like, I'm a politician, he ain't never been like no mayor or no councilman or nothing like that. So he don't really have, you know, he's just going and just, you know, it seems like he's just out there just playing with people's lives because he don't really know the whole situation of the politics. I can't be 1,000,000% wrong. He might think he does, but you know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, G.
No, he getting rich right now. He getting rich, richer than he's been as the president of the United States, man. It's like none of the Constitution doesn't matter anymore. You know, he want to treat people like criminals, and I gotta say it, man, he the biggest criminal there is.
Yep.
What about his charges?
Right now, he's stacking up them chips, so when it's time to vamoose, he'll have his money already in place. You know what I'm saying? You know, he can live the rest of his life on out the way he want to live it.
You know, they coming out with a phone, too, a Trump phone.
I heard
Ain't
about
that crazy?
For 500 boodles.
Man.
I mean, I'm good. I'm good, G. Yeah. I'll give me a Metro.
You know, I don't know, man. You know, I served the country. You know, we took an oath, swore, you know, to the oath. I knew something was up when he took his oath of office and he didn't have his hand on the Bible. Yep. I seen that. I put it on my Facebook. I knew something was up then. When he didn't have that hand on the Bible saying the oath, I knew he was going to be doing some foul play. I knew it. I knew it. But it's a cold game, man. You know, folks they just mess with everybody right now, man. You know, if you got that brown skin, they just messing with you. They hemming up folks that are citizens.
Yep.
They just, it's cold, man. It's cold. And I feel for y'all, bro. I feel for y'all. You know, no one should have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you're trying to live a better life, man, make a better life for your family, man. You should be allowed to do that.
You know, and we know how that feel. I mean, it ain't stopped for us. This may be new to some and some ethnicities, but we deal with this all the time. We, you know, if they had somewhere they could send us back to, we would have been gone.
Yep.
They would have been sent us. But see, we probably the only ethnicity, how you know, race who can't be deported anywhere. Where they going to take us?
Huh?
How are they going to deport us?
Well, you know, that's what you know they do. They just put us in jail all day.
That's it.
And light us up. You know what I'm saying? Gun us down at young ages and all that, and put us in jail and pit us against each other and all that, man. Like I'll tell y'all again, we are the originators, and it's nothing to be proud of we are the originators of the Babylon butt whooping. They start, man, I mean, come on, homie. The Babylon, you know, they used to open up on us. They still do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, all that racial profiling and all that, man, you know, we've been dealing with that for years, man. And when I'm saying we, I'm talking about, you know, black people. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, I can't, you know, when other races deal with it, man, it's like, I can't really be, you know, it's something we've been dealing with for years, you know, before I was born and all that, man. So, like,
it's gonna be after.
What can I really, you know, what can you really say about the situation if you're a black man or a black woman? It's like, I mean, you can sit there and be like, yeah, that's what you get, and now you see how it is, but, you know, like, what is that gonna lead to, man? I just look at it like, man, like, now you kind of know, now you know the situation we've been dealing with, and when we be seeing people, when different people be saying different things, now you can believe them, right?
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's a messed up world we're in right now because of that, you know, that Antichrist.
Yep.
Yeah, I said it before. You know, he's one of the Antichrists, man. Him and the rest of them 1%ers, the billionaires, you know, they don't care about us. They don't. This dude lied and lied and lied, and folks voted him in as president. And now you're surprised at what he's doing? You surprised that he didn't stick to what he said, his promises? This is what he do.
I mean, this cat was getting advice from a dude, homie, who was not a politician and just had more money from and made cars and made a rocket ship.
It wasn't even from this country.
Yeah, and your cold thing about it, and his wife ain't even from this country.
That's what I'm waiting for. When they going to deport the first lady?
Huh.
The vice president too, his wife. You know, they married to immigrants. And they got all this hatred towards immigrants.
I'm trying to tell you, homie, he got funk with the Latino community because I think as a young man, one of the essay homies put hands on him.
I don't think it's just the Latinos, though, man.
So, you know.
Because he don't like nobody that's not like him.
Well, yeah, but who did he really come in and target, though?
Now, he targeted, you know, remember back in the day, black folks couldn't live in his buildings, couldn't work at his companies. Or nothing. He put.
But when he first got a chance to be the president, even from the giddy up, look at when he got in there, he wouldn't do go get old Chapo. He wouldn't got him. He wouldn't got him from the giddy up. You know what I'm saying? He just went and got him, and then he started doing all this and doing all that, homie. I mean, I could be 100,000,000% wrong, but it's just like, you know, I just feel like he had a vendetta, man, against them, man, and I felt, you know, that's cold blooded. You know what I'm saying? That's cold, homie. To blatant be racist like that, man, it's cold, homie.
Man, you know, like I was saying, man, as someone who served, you know, last week was the Army's birthday. You know what I'm saying? And it was his birthday, too. So he decided to have his parade, you know what I'm saying? Like Kim does in North Korea, like Putin does in Russia, you know, like they do in China, because he want to be a dictator. You know, he tried to put the military on display like that for his birthday, and no one showed up. That's why they had the No Kings protest going on, because he thinks he's a king. He think he's a king, so it's no kings in America. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was protesting
on Father's Day.
Hey, he spent all that money on these tax dollar money on this parade, Let me show y'all, man.
Like
This thing was dead.
$450 million or something? $1 billion?
Like 45 million. This thing was dead. How they did the horns, man, and added that just had me dying. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
But no one showed up. Well, you know, there was people there, right? But it wasn't like the No Kings protest that was going on in different states, different cities. Let's see that.
Breaking news. Over 7 million people flood the streets in historic No Kings protest against Trump. In one of the largest mass protests in American history, over 7 million people took to the streets across all 50 states today in a massive show of resistance against former President Donald Trump's return to power and alleged authoritarian ambitions. The coordinated No Kings demonstrations, fueled by fears of democratic backsliding and militarized government overreach, surged through major cities including New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, and Philadelphia. Organizers reported record-breaking crowds, with some estimates pushing turnout as high as 7 million nationwide. Protesters carried signs reading "No Crown, No King," "We the People Say No," and "Stop the Takeover," as chants rang out against what many described as the erosion of constitutional limits on executive power. From Capitol steps to rural towns, the movement spanned generations, drawing students, veterans, activists, and families in unified outrage. "We're here to defend democracy, plain and simple," said a protester in Washington, D.C., where an estimated 300,000 gathered near the National Mall. The protests were peaceful but forceful, underscoring a growing national anxiety over Trump's recent rhetoric, including calls for expanded presidential immunity and the reintroduction of military parades.
You know, a big difference. A big difference. Right here in San Diego, it was over 50. It was 50,000 plus downtown.
Wow.
At the No Kings March here.
Wow.
You know, and what do you say? Over 700 million people across the world, the states protested. Where was all this during Election Day?
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like, probably 3/4 of all the people out there protesting, I'll say half, let's just say half, voted for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now they all mad. First it was the DEI stuff. You know, they didn't want DEI, this and this and this, until they seen who it was affecting. It wasn't affecting the black and the brown and the yellow. It was affecting the white women.
Yeah.
So they were out there protesting, but they voted for them.
Yeah.
Now this is going on. But a lot of them voted for him. You know, what I don't like is, you remember that that Latino band? I think they were Honduran or Cuban or something. They were, you know, we're with Donald Trump.
When the girl was singing?
Yeah.
The lady was singing, the lead singer?
And then her husband got deported and stuff.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cold.
But now they got brothers. See, that's what I don't like. You know, they got... It's all on Instagram, a bunch of, you know, different ones, brothers and sisters dancing to it, like mocking them.
That's not right, homie.
You know, I'm someone who tried to push the black and brown.
Yeah,
you know, when I was doing my video, my clubs, events and stuff, I tried to push that because San Diego's different than a lot of other places. Like, we grew up with each other.
Yeah, my kids are part Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my daughter Monique. My son Eric, who just graduated from college, my son Marcellus, and my roast Marcus. They're part Mexican. You know, grandmother's Mexican. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, living in San Diego, you have some kind of interaction with black and brown, man. It's going down like that.
Yeah, they our neighbors, our homies. We played sports with them.
Yeah.
You know, used to break dance with them. You know,
Rapping. I started doing rapping.
Clicking up with them back in the day. It wasn't until you get around junior high school is when the separation happens.
Yep.
You know, it's when the separation happened. What's up, family? I see you, Diesel. What's up? But yeah, it wasn't until then. And so I don't like that part of it, what's going on right now. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay, you could say it's not our fight. Where were they when we were doing our stuff? You know, but there's some brothers out there marching, just like there was some of them during the Black Lives Matter movement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We shouldn't be. See, this is what they've been doing from day one, bro, is dividing us. Yep. You know what I'm saying? From the slavery days with the house Negro and the field Negro, dividing us. In Mexico, if you're lighter skinned, they frown on the darker skinned ones. All this colorism stuff, it's all to separate us. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard that.
And I used to get down, fam. And it's all by design. You know what I'm saying?
It's a play.
And it's like I understand what some people saying too, man. Like, why we going to be out there marching with y'all? Because if we get locked up,
it's a whole different part of the game.
You know what I'm saying? I had homies that was at my house every day. We kicked it every day. I got locked up, and then a little while later, he got locked up on something else, you know, and we couldn't even talk. We couldn't even chop it. We couldn't kick it.
Yep. Politics.
Because I was a brother, and he was what he was. You know what I'm saying? All them politics. And it's corny like that. You know, and then you get out, and then y'all supposed to be cool again.
Yeah, and you got to play your part, because if I'm mistaken, a couple of young cats went to jail and, you know, tried not to play their part, you know, and they got unalived. You know what I'm saying, in the situation, some little young rap cats, man. So, you know, I mean, you know, it's cold game. The world is for everybody, man. But, you know, you play that game, sometimes you got to play by the rules. You got to play by their rules.
Man, you know, and it's going on everywhere. I love my brothers. You know, my brothers. I love my brown brothers. We're all in the same tribe, from the same tribe, from the same people. We, you know, I don't know what it's going to take. Me and my man Hypnotic talked about this when I interviewed him. Big up to Hypnotic about the black and brown thing. Matter of fact, I had him co-headline. Who was it with? But with a brother, you know, they both headlined the event. And it was a dope event. You know what I'm saying? No problems or nothing. But we still got this deep-rooted divide between us.
Yeah, man, you know.
And we stronger together. They couldn't mess with us if we came together.
That's crazy, man. I mean, you know, in some parts of the game also, man, you know, you know, it can be like a lot of stuff, you know, people trying to pit us against each other by bringing up the old days. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to do stuff like that, man. To try to rekindle stuff like that, man. And, you know, we've all dealt with it individually, you know what I'm saying, as a group and all that when it comes to dealing with different people in different situations, man. But the sooner, like I always say, and I say it again, the sooner we judge the person instead of the race, would be better as a human race. You know what I'm saying? And in times like this, you got to judge the you know, if you're going to be a judgmental person, I choose not to be, but if you are, you got to judge a person for who they are, not what race they are, what color they are, or nothing like that, because everybody don't think that way.
You know, I wasn't going to bring this up or show this, but we talked about the divide, you know, with the black and the brown. And I got two clips I want to show. I seen one from a brother, and then one I forget the dude. I think he's a rapper or podcaster or something. But let's listen to this and tell me what y'all think.
What if the idea of black and brown unity is just another lie we tell ourselves to feel safer in a system that was never built for us? Survival ain't the reason they don't side with us. It's preference. Think about it. In prisons, they don't roll with us. On the job sites, they don't hire us. In their homes, they don't want us dating their daughters. And in the courtroom, they often vote for policies against us. But my people want to cling to the few who march like it erases the ones who mock. And before you say that's not all of them, ask one of your Mexican partners what mejora la raza means. It means to improve the race. But improve it how? By whitening it. By erasing blackness. Go on and sit with that for a minute. They dance to our music, they talk like us, they move into our neighborhoods, and we let them. Then they gatekeep jobs, culture, and even respect. And we let them. This ain't about racism, man. It's about rivalry. Because nobody imitates what they pity. They imitate what they envy. And deep down they know what we got can't be copied. So maybe it ain't hate. Maybe it's hidden competition. Maybe it ain't ignorance. Maybe it's inherited bias. Or maybe blacks was never meant to look for allies. Just remember who we are. I love my people. I hope y'all safe out there, and I hope you get home safe. And y'all have a good day.
You know, and I got mixed feelings about what he was saying, right?
Yeah.
So then I seen this one.
Like an older Mexican man won't let his daughter date a black man, but she could date a white man.
Because of the skin color. It's almost sad because they say pa mejorar la raza.
Yeah,
that's what they be saying.
To better the race.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Fucked up, bro. They're fucked up, bro.
So when my grandma moved to the city, and my grandpa moved to the city and they met, my grandma automatically just seemed better because she was with this guy from Michoacan that was light skinned and white with green eyes. And she looked like Felipe, dark, short. And that she thought she was better, fool. Like, I swear to God, for my grandma just passed, but she loved my nephew more than she loved my niece.
See, it's crazy that colorism is you know, you had the brother saying something and you had the Latino brother saying it. The same thing. Yep. You know, and it's that colorism. Well, she said his grandma liked the other one better because they were lighter skinned.
Yep.
And that's that divide we keep. That's what we see ourselves in right now. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people playing off that ignorance like they do.
Yep.
You know, which is some people out here, man, really trying to improve black and brown relationships, but it's going to be hard to. I ain't going to lie to you. It's going to be hard to, man, because politics. A lot of folks get locked up and then they come home institutionalized.
They live in a box mentally. You can't get nowhere if you're living in a box mentally. Everybody ain't the same, man. Everybody don't, think the same. It don't matter, people living foul, but everybody don't think the same, man. Don't feel the same. That's all I got to say about that situation.
Yeah, man. It's messed up. Again, I feel bad for everybody who's affected right now with these ICE raids and being treated the way they being treated.
It's cold-blooded, man. It's cold. It's wrong.
But we got to keep the ignorance out of it.
Yep.
These are human beings. You know what I'm saying? These are human beings, and you're supposed to love thy enemy and love thy neighbor. So, I'm not saying get out there and protest, but if you want to, hey, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Because this could be anybody. They like I said, if they had somewhere to take us and deport us to, they would have been deported us. I think we the only nationality that they can't deport.
Then there would have been no basketball, ain't no more rapping, ain't no more singing, ain't no more a lot of things going on. Ain't no stoplights, ain't no peanut butter, a lot of things ain't happening. Ain't no math. For those who do not know, Euclid, which is a brother, is the inventor of math. That's why you'll see Euclid in a lot of places. Euclid is the inventor of math.
Oh, yeah, we were very inspirational in a lot of things. I heard something, and there's no racism and none of this type of stuff. I'm just, they said the white man stole the land, the black man built the land, and the Latino man, the Mexican man, kept the land. You know what I'm saying? And made it beautiful. Without black and brown, America wouldn't be America.
Sure wouldn't.
You know what I'm saying? And to use people as pawns like that to get that vote, that just shows the dirtiness of politicians and the politics.
This is the Lord's land.
Man.
That's it.
Again, I feel bad for anybody going through all that stuff, man. It's terrible. They taking folks out of their, out of their homes and schools and stuff. And let's be real. The president said before, the black jobs, they taking the black jobs, they taking the Mexican jobs. Well, the other folks don't want those jobs.
Sure don't.
So who's going to do all those jobs? Who's going to do all those jobs? Prices is already outrageous in the grocery stores and stuff.
It's just wrong, homie. You know what I'm saying? It's about wrong and right, and this ain't right.
I served and fought for my country, man. And it wasn't just about fighting for the country. We fought for human rights. We fought for, people to be able to live in a free land, and we're over there and they want our soldiers to go fight for these causes. And we're not even, it's sort of like back in the day, right, with like my grandpa, he went a Vietnam vet, World War II, and Korean War vet. A lot of them brothers went and fought for the country and then came home and didn't even have rights. Couldn't even eat in restaurants. Couldn't do, had to walk through the back and got the scraps and got paid terribly. You know what I mean? And it's still kind of like that. You know what I mean? It's still kind of like that. It got better. Things got better. Look, we're here doing stuff like this. It got better, but it's still, we still scared driving. We still scared walking around.
It's crazy.
DWB is real.
Yep. I got license, registration, insurance, and everything. And every time I see them, I still get a little nervous. And one time I was driving, coming from somewhere, man, and the Babylon looked straight at me and just busted a U-turn on me for nothing. Homie, I was like, and when they how they do it, they get behind you and they run your plates and do all this and all that.
That's when you get real nervous.
Exactly, because you thinking like, man, did I pay that warrant, or do I have a warrant? Whatever, you start thinking about everything.
Did I use my blinker?
Yep. And when they find out they ain't got nothing on you, after they run your plates and everything, that's when they speed up on you.
That's that angry drive.
Yep.
They be mad. They be mad. Hey, the lines are open right now, right? So give a call in and let us know what y'all think about this stuff, man.
It's going down.
619-720-1775.
It's going down. 3 minute max.
3 minutes. But yeah, it's just bad, man. I feel bad for a lot of folks. I tell you one thing though. And me and K9 was talking about this, big up to K9 Compton.
Shout out to brother K9.
We were talking about this, man, when I was on my walk and we was on the phone. I said, one thing I'm noticing, again, I'm just telling it like your TI is.
Yep.
Old white couples, while they're walking, they're not moving away from me anymore. They're not treating me like, I'm a dog with rabies.
Hi.
They're waving, they're smiling, they're talking to me,
Hello.
And it's weird. You know what I'm saying? Because just a couple weeks ago, walk in, they'll, especially in the evening, they'll look at, you see them clutch, when they clutch up, man, and they clutch up, but now they speaking to me and stuff. I told K9, I said, this is different. This
crazy,
is different.
Man. It's crazy, homie, but we deal with that. The Wednesday night chop up.
Caller, state your name.
And where you calling from?
Man, this Diesel, man. I'm coming out of Florida, man.
What it do, my brother? What it do?
What's up, family?
Man, chilling, man. It's been busy.
Man, I got that email, man. I got them tracks, homie.
Yeah, man. Do your thing, man. Do your thing and let me know something, man.
I'm feeling the first one. We'll chop it up, my brother. We'll chop it up, though.
Oh yeah, we definitely chop it up, man. Since I sent you that, I talked to Cuz, man. I did probably like 18 more tracks and about 6-7 songs, but we'll get to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Man, I'm calling in, man. I heard y'all touching up on some interesting subjects, and y'all have to bring me on there one night so we can have an extended chop up. But as an educator that work in a community where it's majority black, one of the things I've always tried to do to my students is expose them to other cultures. But I also try to make sure they understood how our government operates too, and the whole thing about how our government uses people. And I think it parallels in what's going on. A lot of people like to mind their own business until it affects them.
Yeah.
And this is what I think is happening now. Is for me, it's two-sided. The thing that bothers me the most is the war situation overseas with the Palestinian people, because I taught a lot of Palestinians, my students. So I have a good understanding of what they're dealing with. So I don't agree with what our government does as far as spread war and hate across the world. But then for the rest of the world, the people that look up to our government, if you take a look at how they sent the National Guard and all those people into California against the governor's wishes, you get an understanding of what you're seeing is how history repeats itself, and how if processes and systems are not broken, then they bound to be used again. They doing that because they know they're going to get away with it on an international level and on a community level, because the people they're doing it to are the poor and disenfranchised. If we understand that and start to being prepared for these situations, then I think they will go a lot better. One of the biggest things we got to realize this as well is that a lot of the illegal immigrants have made it difficult for the people who are legal. And the reason is because just like with black people, when they start saying everybody look alike, they're applying that same type of pressure to that community. And people react and they respond, and that's what you're seeing.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I just want to throw my 2 cents in there because I'm watching it. I saw Israel bomb Iran, and then everybody pissed off because Iran started fighting back. And I was like, they told y'all come for them. They was going to at least put up a fight. So I don't understand. It's like we get to bully everybody, and nobody gets to do anything back to us. And that's playing out in all the poor people places around the world, Africa, and places where colonialism and what they call democracy, which is capitalism and more colonialism, is taking over and is abusing because they're in a position of power, and they flex this all over the world. And the main thing is because the U.S. dollar is the basis for international trade. And once the financial markets start to isolate our country, then we'll see the backlash, and then we'll get a good understanding of what's really going on. And I think our government needs to be checked because of what they're doing to their people and people all over the world. But who's going to check them if the people don't get together and start to think rationally and develop our young leaders and get people prepared and put them in the places? That's the only way you do it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you for tapping in.
You know it, man. You know it. The teacher side came out. You know I'm heavy in the activism. I work in the community, man. I'm very in tune, and just watching this stuff, man, remind me of what they did to Gaddafi, and that's a whole nother conversation.
But that's a whole nother conversation.
You know, boy, that thing get deep, boy.
He paid for his own people, homie. I seen that one.
Man.
I seen that.
Gaddafi, the realest example is Gaddafi, because he took the literacy rate in his country from 2% to 9%, and took Libya from underdeveloped to, once they realized how much oil they had, to making them a country that was self-sustained, no debt, and made it where all his people had permanent free housing, free education,
no homelessness,
everything. And then they killed him, and Libya ain't been the same since. So they can stop selling that bullshit. Oh, my bad, Will. They can stop selling that foolishness, man. We got to wake up and educate our people.
I seen that when it was Farrakhan. He was like, I was there.
Yeah,
I seen that one.
That dollar, the money he was going to create with the other African nations was going to be it was going to put the dollar to shame.
But there's another cat coming out now.
It was bigger. The bigger part of that was this. He had taught the other African nations, even with a country being 90% desert that you didn't need the outside
Right.
people to come in and tell you how to run your stuff. And it's going on right now in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and you see they label them terrorists. They ready to go in there with their fucking humanitarian bull crap so they can bomb the hell out of everybody and take all their resources.
Hey,
So we know
right.
what it is.
You're right.
We see it, baby.
That's how they got us over when I went to Somalia. It started off as a humanitarian crisis, and then it turned into a combat because you in somebody else's land trying to tell them how and what to do. But hey, fam,
what happened in Somalia recently? They just found out they got oil and gold that they had never even tapped into, and now they finna develop. See?
You ain't lying.
Shout out to my brother Ivan, the homie Ivan, Rasta boys. Appreciate you, my brother.
But yeah, okay, fam. Appreciate you.
Okay,
hey,
let me stop killing y'all time, man. Y'all open the lines up for somebody else, but nothing but love, man.
All the
Expressing yourself on all platforms, man. Y'all check it out, man.
There it is. There it is. Appreciate you, fam.
Shout out to the homie Shower Body. Appreciate you, Shower Body.
All right, one, fam. Again, big up to Ivan and Shout Body. But yeah, my family was right. You know, it's like I said, it's all part of the big plan. You know, we just not a part of that plan. You know what I'm saying? And again, everybody going through something. You know, you may know a friend or a neighbor or you know a teacher or a classmate who's affected by these ICE raids and stuff. You know. We feel for you. We feel for you, you know.
Pray for you.
Those that's, you know, being ignorant about stuff, you know. Don't turn this into a black and brown thing. It's already too much divide within us. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Go back in your mind and remember how we all grew up together, how we all kicked it together. You know what I'm saying? Played pickup ball and stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Walked to school together. You know, I used to stay all night at my buddies' houses, and yeah, you know, you might find a auntie or something that, you know, was looked at you funny, you know, but it'll be the same thing if they came stayed at my house or went to grandma's house. You may have an auntie or a cousin or somebody that's going to be looking at them crazy, and it's just because how we grew up, and some folks grew up in them systems, in institutions.
Yep. My homeboy, because you're my homeboy Edgar Barajas, he's Mexican. I started rapping, man. I made my first tape in his grandmother's garage.
See what I'm saying? My first DJ was Mexican, RP to my man GXD. You know, my first DJ, he taught me how to DJ. This back when I was rapping. This in elementary school. He was my DJ. You know what I'm saying? Then he ended up being my brother DJ. Rest in peace. Both of them gone now. You know, both of them resting in peace, man. Big up to both of them. But I'm saying, like, I used to kick it with go in the houses, stay all night over there. You know what I'm saying? And this type of stuff is just going to push us further and further
man.
back.
I got a gang of Mexican friends, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, my kids are part Mexican, man. So, you know, as far as that negative energy, man, I've never been a person like that. I've always been colorblind. People who really know me know I know all kinds of people, homie. White, black, Filipino, Samoan, whatever, man. This is the type of person I am, man. And that's the way you're supposed to be. Because as my mom used to tell me, you never know who you have to get your next cup of water from. You never know.
That's a fact. You know, stay prayed up, y'all. You know, stay prayed up and leave ignorance out of this, man. Bloodstone, let them know what you got coming up.
Yes, sir, man. I'm doing my thing, man. Every Friday and Saturday night, you know, Friday night, early Saturday morning, and every Saturday evening, Sunday morning. Depends on when I get off the slave. I got late night hyping after the slave on IG. So make sure you check me out. And also, man, I got a new single out called Know What I'm Saying on all digital platforms, produced by the homie Joseph Energetic. Appreciate it. And I got my single coming, my EP coming out soon, The Underhound, man. And, you know, as far as doing our thing here at the headquarters, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to keep working, trying to keep pushing, my brother.
That's it. Hey, I'll see y'all. I don't have a show tomorrow. I'll see y'all Friday, 6:30, the Friday night chop up.
Yes, sir. It's going down right now. Not now, but right now. This is the Wednesday night chop up. Trey Boogie, everybody's big homie, Bloodstone, the street preacher, and shout out to the homie K9 Compton. It's going down.
Thank you, everyone. You are now welcome aboard the G-Man Experience.